as we let people in, I do want to encourage our attendees for the sake of networking and getting to know our fellow members and guests. And if you have the opportunity to please put your name, the business you represent, and contact information in the chat so that everybody can exchange information if you feel comfortable with that. So again, name, organization, and email or phone number, however you'd like to be contacted. We have quite a few members and guests and potential members, so we hope that we can all connect with one another. There will be time for networking at the conclusion of the event, so would be great if we could start sharing that information now. And thank you for those words of encouragement. Okay, just gonna wait 1 more minute and we will kick it off. Okay, so let's kick it off. There's some people having technical difficulties, but hopefully they can join us shortly. I'm going to make one of my interns, Kira, the host, so that she can start letting people in. Okay, so once again, welcome to the 2021 annual meeting for the Greenwich Village Chelsea Chamber of Commerce. I am Maria Diaz. I am the executive director for the chamber, and I have been serving in this capacity now for 7 years, going on 7 years this year. Welcome to our board members, welcome to our guests, welcome to our ambassadors and everyone who plays a part in all the work that we do here at the chamber. We will start the agenda. We'll start with sharing what we hope to accomplish throughout this conversation and presentation to catch you all up on what we've been up to and share with us our goals for 2021. We have some guests that we are still waiting on, but I will have them hop on and share some information when they come in. So welcome and introductions. Again, Maria. We have a few board members here that I hope can just share just their name and the organization that they represent. And we'll go down the line. I'll call on people to unmute themselves, starting with Bruce. You can just name, organization.
Hi, everyone. Bruce Balsam, CPA from Mazars USA, LLP, accounting, tax, and consulting.
Thank you, Bruce. Next, if we can have our board member, Peg.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. I will turn my camera on. Hi, my name is Peg Butler, and I actually work at Lenox Hill Hospital, which is part of the Northwell Health System. So I actually have a role with the corporate marketing group out in Long Island, but I'm also on the ground in Manhattan with Lenox Hill Uptown and Lenox Hill Greenwich Village Downtown. So nice to see you all, and thanks for joining us.
Matthew?
Hi, Matthew from Buckbinder. Oh, sorry for that noise. Matthew from Buckbinder and Warren, sales and leasing in Manhattan. Thank you.
Yeah. Mike?
Good evening, all. I'm Mike Aglioloro, board member and chair of the Ambassador Committee, and I represent Bethpage Federal Credit Union, Business Development, Relationship Management, Manhattan, and the tri-state area.
Thank you. Valentine?
Hi, everyone. My name is Valentine Goldstein. I represent NYU and I work in the Office of Community Engagement.
And then finally, I hope I haven't missed any other board members. I would like to introduce our incoming board president, Andreas Kouzadakis. If you would like to say a little bit more than just a brief intro and talk to our guests, I'd be more than, go ahead.
Sure. Am I on? So
Yeah.
I'm jumping in. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Andreas, founding partner at KI Legal, small business law firm. We pretty much do everything your average small business owner needs. I'm also a business owner myself. I have, other than the law firm, Tribeca's Kitchen, which is located in downtown Manhattan. I'm excited to bring some ideas and work with the board and everyone in the organization to grow the organization further. The main goals are really to educate, continue the networking, obviously goals, diversification, but also advocacy. Right now, as a small business lawyer, I know that education is probably the biggest thing that I see all of my clients need. And I always say, you know, we work for our clients when they're paying us and when they're not. So this for me is about that part of it. It's two-pronged. It's industry advocacy and it's education. And I think there are a lot of amazing professionals, both on the board and outside of the board, that are just members and just generally people that service the membership, service people that aren't yet members, but they will be, right, Maria, and the rest of the board. And they should contribute, right? Everyone should participate and share their resources. You know, you join a chamber because you really need help in some category. You want to expand your network. You want to expand what you know, who you know, and what's happening out there. And if you're a massive company, sometimes you already have that information and you really don't need anyone else. You have a specialist for everything. But when you're a small business, you're chasing a lot of different things at the same time. And you really need a strong business network. Not for sales, although sales are great, right? Everyone's trying to, you know, feed their families and do everything they want to do in life. But it's because you got to have these resources that you don't know. So you have that for me. You know, Maria's going to be stationed at the law firm. We're getting new space. So that was a big thing for me, not because Maria's amazing to work with, although she's very, very amazing to work with, but also because I have other resources at the firm that are going to help her and also be a direct line of communication with the general membership. So, you know, it's everyone has to find a way to contribute. I know what I'm going to be looking to contribute and what I'm going to try and get from other people to contribute. But if there's something that you think your neighbor needs help with or that you see on the ground is happening and should be addressed, bring it to our attention. We need to be a real team now more than ever. And, you know, got to get out of this with version 2 of whatever you're doing, whatever your business is. It's a fresh start. It really is. We've been through hell and back. I personally lost my father from COVID, 59 years old. Saturday is going to be 1 year. You know, and I rebuilt the whole restaurant while rebuilding a lot of my restaurant clients' businesses. So I know what you're doing. I've lived and breathed every single aspect of your business, all in one shot in 1 year under the worst possible conditions. It was not easy. I didn't have some blank check that let me do it. I did what all of you did when you first started. So, you know, I really mean this. It's important that we all kind of take this serious and recruit other people. You know, we'll figure out a way to get the organization really funded and grow and make all those things happen. But one thing that will certainly make it grow is power in numbers. You know, again, small businesses individually are nothing, but collectively can take down this economy. And that's exactly what happened. So now let's get back this economy. And we have a big enough district to make that happen. So thank you very much. And I hope I'm able to help.
Thank you. So that if I missed a board member who didn't get to introduce themselves, please do let me know. We will introduce our ambassadors and other committee members throughout the evening. So we will be doing a brief presentation on what we were able to accomplish in 2020. Most importantly, what our goals for the future in 2021 are. We will go through elections and have our candidates speak a little bit on why they would like to run. And then we will end the evening with some networking so that we can get to know each other a little bit more. Excuse me. So moving on. We will have an opportunity for questions also at the end of the presentation of our goals. So as you see the presentation, if you have questions, jot them down and we will be able to take those questions later on. So 2020 in review. Just some very high level things so that we can focus more of the presentation on the future, but we do want to give you an update on some of the programs that we were able to execute. Here are just some examples of some of the programs that we executed last year. Two of the ones on the screen, Shop Legal All in Chelsea, were forward-facing marketing initiatives that we helped both the West Village and Chelsea, encouraging people to come shop to the merchants that remained open. We also held our annual event with NYU. Our event normally is during Women's History Month, but due to COVID, we had to postpone that. So we did host a small business forum with some members who sat on as panelists and was quite informative. In response to all the social justice issues that were being raised, that have been raised, we launched a first race in business conversation. And finally, our major fundraiser, an event for 2020 was Safe City, Safe Streets, our annual luncheon honoring the local officers and heroes that keep our businesses safe. So there were plenty more programs, but those are the ones that we chose to highlight, but there were plenty of educational programs and networking opportunities. Now to talk about our membership. COVID impacted the chamber similarly as it has impacted the small businesses. We did start 2020 with close to over 200 members, and by the end of 2020, the chamber had gone down to 104 members. So this is just, we want to be upfront. This is how COVID affected us, as well as how it has been affecting our community. 10% of the members who did not renew were from closures, and then a majority of the other members who did not renew didn't renew because of uncertainty on where funds were going to be coming from. So we know that we've been keeping in touch with many of the members that were not able to financially contribute to the chamber because we understood how COVID affected them, and we have extended grace periods for many of the members. So while we have 104 dues paying members, there are more members on our roster that we're still considering members to offer benefits to. Silver lining in all of this, because many of our members renew in the beginning of the year, many of our members had renewed by the time that COVID had started to impact our businesses. So we only lost 7% of our revenue that came from membership in 2020. Now moving on to more of the finances. Here's again high level overview of the finances of the chamber. In 2020, we brought in a little over $222,000. Much of that came from COVID relief grants and loans that the chamber was able to secure through EIDL, through city small business grants. $81,000 from membership revenue. Our goal for this year is $94,000, and event income was $50,000. In terms of expenses, we tried to be very frugal. We spent $150,000. Much of that went towards salary and benefits. Event expenses was $34,000, and operations and taxes that the chamber is responsible for rounded out at $25,000. Some of the achievements that we want to highlight. We were very responsive to the needs of our businesses. We created a strategic planning for business guide that we launched the summer of last year. And we released a lot of information on the requirements that were necessary for businesses to start opening it up in the different stages. At the end of actually 2019, leading into 2020, we were able to be at the closing bell, the NASDAQ closing bell, to highlight Small Business Saturday. And the center picture is a little hard to see, but it's the chamber standing next to the past Small Business Services Commissioner at the billboard in Times Square. We were able to, because of COVID, we weren't able to do our precinct tours this year, but we were able to provide lunches several times throughout the year to the precincts that fall within our footprint. So there's a picture there of one of our member, Aroka Restaurant, providing lunch for one of the precincts. And related to the precincts, we were able to, because we couldn't do the in-person luncheon this year, we were able to create a series of videos highlighting the heroic work that not only our officers do, but our healthcare workers that the healthcare workers provided during times of COVID. The video did make a wide circulation. The governor got a hand of the video and put it out in one of their daily COVID updates, and received tons of accolades and exposure. And the video is still making its rounds. I understand that several organizations have wanted to feature the heroes that we highlighted in that video as well. And then some notable speakers that we were able to bring to our events. We had the commissioner of the NYPD, several elected officials, namely the state senator, State Senator Hoyman, Congressman Nadler, 3 of our council members, Johnson, Rivera, and Keith Powers, and finally, Assemblymember Deborah Glick. So now for the goals for 2021. We wanted to overcome the issues that came with the pandemic. So this has been the mission and the vision of the chamber, but not explicitly in these words, but we do want to be the vanguard of economic development in the neighborhoods we represent. In order to do that, there's going to be need for a lot of collaboration, for a lot of exposure, for a lot of work from members, the staff, the board members, and these are just 6 of the top level goals that we have set for ourselves to get through 2021 as we work for a long-term strategic plan for 5 years out. So this is mostly a 1-year action plan for the chamber for 2021. First, we had decided quite a bit ago that we wanted to launch a 501c3. And I'm happy to report that as of today, not as of today, but as of this year, we have now a 501c3 arm of the work that we do. It's called the Village Chelsea Community Development Corporation. And this organization now allows us to put forward more public facing programming that improves the community that we're in. The C6 is a little limiting in that donations and contributions to the C6 are not tax deductible, but now with the C3, we can solicit funds for these programs that help the community through that organization. So that will, the C3 will absorb some of those public facing programming. It will create new funding streams for the work that we do in the community. One of the initial goals that we are going to set for ourselves is to create a very in-depth needs assessment of the village and Chelsea. We will be looking for funding from various sources, government and private sponsorships, to be able to launch those needs assessment programs. Second goal is staff management. As Andreas explained, I will be taking up residence in his office for the work that the chamber does. And due to the contributions of his office and his staff, we will be, the staff at his office will be helping with a lot of the work that the chamber is going to be doing for the next year. But ideally by the end of the year, we are going to be able to hire a new staff member that will have the chamber be their sole focus, as the chamber is my sole focus as the sole employee of the organization. We do have an intern program that we've been running for years, for at least 7 years. We want to enhance that program by being able to upgrade it from being just a credit-based program to be a stipend program, just to get more students that are going to give to the chamber, because without the help of these interns, we couldn't do like the day-to-day operations of the chamber, like putting out our newsletter, updating our websites, our social media. That's all handled by the management of interns. membership. So our goal for the year is to reach 150 dues paying members. We are well on our way. I have no doubt that we will hit that goal. We are at 104 members currently who are dues paying members. Part of those members that we are trying to recruit is to bring in 3 new chamber champions. Chamber champions, if for members of our audience that are not aware, are the corporations and the organizations that give a little more to the chamber for our operations. On the screen, you see who some of our top chamber champions are. You know, they range from, you know, platinum level sponsors, Google, NYU, and William Gottlieb, and you see the other sponsors of the chamber. This year, we are launching a new program where when we recruit a chamber champion, and this is to address, to look at the recruitment through a lens of equity, is that when a chamber champion joins, we are going to be offering grants for smaller businesses, prioritizing MWBEs to become members of the chamber. So while the grant opportunities will be open to any small business that has been affected by COVID, we will, you know, be prioritizing affording those grants to minority women based enterprises. How we plan to do that, thanks to the help of, we were granted a capstone project with NYU. It's a capacity building program where we have a team of master's level students who are working to fulfill a requirement for graduation to do a needs assessment of our members. The capstone project, the students have already started implementing several surveys. We've interviewed several members. We've put out a survey to our members and potential members as well. And we've gotten quite a bit of useful information, namely the top 3 things that both members and potential members have, being that they want to see more quality leads and referrals. They want to see more educational workshops, as Andreas was talking about, and they want to see more advocacy for the needs that they have at
Andreas, are you here? I don't want to be presumptive here since I'm not even a board member. Maria, are you back? We need your mic.
Sorry, there was a glitch. I'm back.
Okay, go for it.
Thank you. Okay, if that happens again, my interns have the slides to be able to share the rest of the next presentation. I mean, the next slide. So we have, advocacy that we would like to promote. So that's a recap on our goals for membership. In terms of programming, these are, while we are going to do plenty of workshops, plenty of networking opportunity, these are the large scale forward-facing programs that we would like to launch. The first program is Live the Village, which is a compilation of several programs that we've been involved with in the past. Actually, the first one is Art on the Ave, which is actually a new component of Live the Village. And we called it Live the Village because in the past we've had like Shop Bleecker, we've had things that you know, have actions, but right now what we want to encourage is people to experience the village. So it's not just, you know, shop, it's dine, shop, it's experience art, it's take a walk, it's several different things. So the first program is called Art on the Ave. It'll be launching mid-April and run through July. We have secured the space of, I believe, 11 different sites in the West Village. Several of them are vacant storefronts, so we're killing several birds with one stone. We will be putting art in the window fronts of these vacant storefronts, as well as some of the merchants that are in the area. These will be self-guided walking tours where individuals can scan codes and listen to information on the artist, on the vacant storefront itself, and just learn more about the West Village. Second is a rebranding of the program that we've had now for 4 years. Shop Leaker will be, we're in talks of what that new title is going to be, but it's going to be more West Village centric, as well as more general, to include not only shopping, but dining and other experiences as well. And that program, we're going to move from what is typically in November to our summer program. And then finally, we're collaborating with a member of the chamber who is the founder of the Village Trip, who is here all the way on our call from London, who founded this several years ago. And it encompasses, it's a music festival to highlight the historic contributions of the village to the various music genres that have come out of the village. The chamber's contribution to this will be to, secure some of the tours that we will be hosting, as well as some of the panel discussions that will give a little bit more context and history. So thank you, Liz. I think she also put information on the chat. So if anybody's interested in any of these programs, these are amazing opportunities to be able to get your brand in front of thousands of participants. We have sponsorship levels for 1, 2, or all 3 of these programs. So we're hoping that we can, be able to give exposure to some of the businesses that want to participate in these programs. So that's Live the Village. All in Chelsea will be a second iteration of this project. Last year, it was a Shop Local program to help support the businesses in the area and bring more foot traffic to the area. This year, we want to see it grow. We had 49 businesses that participated last year. We're hoping to have at least 70 this year. And another way that we hope to see it grow is by providing even more incentives to come and shop. We'll be putting together small little PPE kits that the merchants can give to people who purchase products at their store. And again, this is another program that we are seeking sponsorship for. So if we, give out face masks, or if we give out hand sanitizers, the kit that this all comes in can have the branding of the business that are potentially sponsoring these programs. And then finally, we will be we will be hosting our Safe City, Safe Streets once again. Ideally, by the time this event rolls around, which is in December, COVID restrictions have eased up. More people have been vaccinated, and by the fall, we hope to have smaller, but do have in-person precinct tours once again, so that there's more engagement between our business community and our the commanding officers and the officers that help patrol our footprint. Another wonderful opportunity to spotlight your business and the heroes that are contributing to keeping our city safe. Second to last goal, board composition. As you've all met, Andreas Koutsadakis will be serving as our incoming board president. I want to take the time to thank Andreas Pasmino, who served as our past board president, who contributed significantly to our programming and our outreach during 2020. We do want to recruit new members to the board. As you'll see, there are 3 members who are running for seats on the board, but we would still like to hit that goal of 5. We'd like to see more representation, and by no means is this an exhaustive list of who we'd like to see, but we would like to see restaurant owners on the board, more retail representation on the board, technology, entertainment. Those are just some examples of some industries that we'd like to see representation from. And then finally, our goal of advocacy, as the survey that we implemented showed, businesses want to see us advocate for them more when it comes to sitting down with our electeds. One example of an advocacy effort that we're in the process of engaging in is advocating for the small business relief portion of the One House budget resolution. That has the One House budget resolution has a lot of components. The ones that we're focusing on are the ones dealing with small business. We are pushing for this $1 billion small business fund that will add $500 million to small business assistance grants, as well as $500 million for commercial rent relief. We also want to see an additional $1.3 million for the MWBE development and lending program. That will make a total of $2 million that goes towards that, but we are going to be encouraging our legislative branch to put these into the upcoming budget. If anyone has any questions about the advocacy efforts of the chamber or would like to join us in pushing for these, please do reach out. We would love the assistance. So those are the overall goals that we have set for ourselves for 2021. And in order to reach those goals, it's going to take help from everyone in our community, members, non-members, boards. And here's just a few examples of some next steps that collectively we can take to be able to reach those goals. Involvement. There are several members on the call with us, and we have several non-members on the call with us. If you are not a member, please do consider joining us as a member. There are several benefits that we can talk. We have our ambassadors in the room that will be able to set up time to have one-on-ones with you. Ambassadors will be leading our moderated breakout rooms later. So if there are any questions about membership, that'd be a great time to start asking them. If you are a member already, please, if you're not sitting on a committee, please consider sitting on a committee. Engage more as a member. We are encouraging our members to create a sense of community. When you need something for your business, when you need something for yourself, think about the chamber as your go-to place to find that. You know, we have representation, you know, we have lawyers, we have marketing people, we have graphic designers, we have tons of industries represented with the chamber. If you don't know of a member who has who offers these services, reach out to me, reach out to an ambassador, and we will connect you with a member who can help your business. The next slide will talk about what our committees are, so that if you are already an active member, how you can contribute to committee membership. And then finally, maybe this is not in the immediate, but start thinking long term. And if you would like to have more of a say on the work that the chamber does, on the advocacy that we perform, on the direction that the organization is going in, do consider becoming a board member. The board members have tons of influence on all the operations of the chamber. So think about that for future involvement with the chamber. Committees. We have some established committees, and we want to enhance some of the engagement within those committees. Our ambassadors, as I've been mentioning throughout the evening, are very active. We meet twice every month, and we talk about ways that we can retain and recruit new members to the chamber. Our advocacy committee, we've talked about what advocacy entails. We have that led by our board member, Matthew Olden from Buckbinder Warren, who that committee will, review different policies and recommend to the board whether we take a stance on a topic, if we endorse a project. So again, a lot of good that can be done by sitting on that committee. And then finally, our marketing and programming committee. Our programs, we're trying to grow our reach. We're trying to grow all of these projects that I've mentioned, our forward-facing projects. If you have skills in marketing, if you have graphic design skills, if you have experience with putting together programs, please sit on these committees, on this committee. If these committees are not like up your alley, we can certainly think about putting together committees that will use the skills that you possess to be able to contribute to the chamber. That was a lot of information. I now open the floor to anyone who's on the call to ask any questions. I'm not sure, I haven't been able to pay attention to the chat, but if there's anybody who would like to ask a question, please, raise your hand and either virtually raise your hand or put a note in the chat and I'll open it up for you. Okay, sorry. The next slide we have then is elections. So elections are an opportunity for members to, oh wait, who should be contacted for interns? Recommendations on interns you can reach out to me. My email, maria@villagechelsea.com. And there will be, yes, every time we have new events, we send out a mass email and they live on our website. The art in the storefronts have been curated. The organization Art on the App has curated the art. They did a call for submission a month ago, and they are they've secured those already. Performing arts, I think performing arts will be more of the village trip event. So that's the event that we're hosting with the organization, the Village Trip, in September. So if there are people interested in doing performing arts, then do reach out to us so that we can put everybody in touch with one another. Okay, so I believe if I missed any questions, again, yes. So for elections, this is an opportunity for members to be able to elect our next set of, to vote on our next set of board members. In a few minutes, you will be receiving everyone who is eligible to vote, and it's one vote per business that's a member of the chamber. You will receive an email at the email registration, the email that you use for registration on how to cast your ballot. If you don't receive that by 6:30, please reach out to me. The election ballots will be, the platform will be open until 10 p.m. tonight. So you have several minutes to be able to do this now or after the event today. But we do want to give each of our candidates an opportunity to speak and to say why they're interested in running for the board. So we'll start with one of our chamber ambassadors, Elizabeth, who is on the call. Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Healy. I'm a owner of a small business here in the West Village. I've had a business here for 18 years now. I am an acupuncturist, licensed in the state of New York, and a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. I've been through this last year with everybody else, suffering all the same, I don't know, I'll almost say indignities, but pain and suffering that we all have trying to get through. And so I call it a win when my business is still open at the end of last year. And, I'm hoping for better things in the coming year. But I've been a member of the chamber for about, I think, 2.5 years now, and active on the ambassador committee pretty much that entire time. And so, I do believe that if we are members of the chamber, then we have to be active members because otherwise we don't really derive much in the way of benefit from our chamber membership. And certainly my experience as an ambassador has really aided me in developing some significant relationships with other, not just ambassadors, but other chamber members and some of the members of the board. And so, my prior life, this is a second career for me. My prior life was as a practicing attorney, and I practiced law for 20 years before I became an acupuncturist. And so you know, I have an array of skill sets that I bring to the table, which I think are significant. You know, by way of example, you know, we lost Maria, and fine, I'll jump in and quickly sort of fill a void, right? That kind of action. So that sort of got to see a little bit of an action. But I really think that it's time for me to step my game up again, right? So I've been very active in the ambassador program, but now it's time to take another action and step up again, and hence I think I can add some value at the board level, and I would love the opportunity to be able to do that. I encourage you, if you have any questions, to feel free to reach out to me. I put my information up, but I will also put my phone number into the chat. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Liz. Next person running is David. David, are you with us? I don't know if he is on the call just yet. I'll move forward with our next. So a brief to cover his candidacy. He has been a member of the chamber for at least 6 years. He joined the chamber when I joined, when I first started being employed here. He works for CMIT Solutions as a tech company, and is an active member of our ambassadors committee as well. So here on the screen, you have a picture and some basic information on him. Hopefully he was able to join us before the end of the call to give a few comments. And then finally, Valentine.
Hello, thank you. So again, my name is Valentine. I represent New York University, but specifically I'm in the Office of Community Engagement. NYU has long partnered with the chamber, but I personally have been on the board for about a year now, so just the beginning of the pandemic. So it's been a very interesting time to join an organization, and especially one that's working so closely with community members and individuals who have been so heavily impacted by this past year and all the issues that go along with COVID. I look forward to continuing to work with the board and continuing to foster relationships and work in partnership with other community members, other community stakeholders to create a more accessible and vibrant Greenwich Village and surrounding area. So thank you.
So thank you all for talking a little bit about your candidacy. The elections platform is scheduled to actually hit your inboxes at 6:15. So that was pretty good timing. You'll have, the email will be from a program called Election Runner. In the email will be a link directly to vote. It'll have your voter ID and a key, and it should take you straight to be able to vote. Remember that voting is, you can vote for all of the candidates. It's not one of three. It's 1, 2, or 3 of the candidates for the position. The email should have hit your inboxes by now, but we will leave that open until 10 p.m. to be able to vote. And the next portion of our evening will be our networking. So we have with us some of our ambassadors. I'd like to give them an opportunity also to say, to introduce themselves and say like who they are and the business that represents, because they will also be the moderators of the conversations that we'll be hosting. I believe we'll have groups of 5 that will be in a room with either an ambassador or a staff or myself. So I'm going to start with Elizabeth. Just recap again, ambassador. You have your hand raised. Is that for a question?
I do. And so 2 things, right? I have a question. Inbox, is that inbox here, or are you talking about our email accounts?
Emails. Whatever
fine,
email
thank you.
use, yes, whatever email you use to register for the event, the election ballot should have been received by this point.
So you guys know who I am. I'm an active ambassador. I look forward to working with everyone. I'll head up one of these breakout groups and look forward to meeting you.
Yes. Mike?
Good evening, all. I'm Mike Aglioloro, Business Development Relationship Management for Bethpage Federal Credit Union. Bethpage Federal Credit Union is, in fact, the largest federal credit union in New York State and on the East Coast, and 13th largest in the country. And with a national charter, anyone in the nation can bank with us. What most people don't know is we have over 5,400 shared branches and over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs coast to coast. I'm also a proud member of the board of directors of the Chamber and a very proud member of the Ambassador Committee. And as you could see, some of our ambassadors are passionate about what they do. And I think that runs from the top down. An active board, a fabulous executive director, and there's no doubt in my mind that the 2021 goals and objectives will be accomplished before the end of the year. So basically, if you want to become a member, if not already, please do. But if you do, be active, be involved, and the end will continually justify the means. Mike Aglioloro, Bethpage Federal Credit Union.
Thanks. Joel, quick intro. Joel with us? Like people are falling off. Joel, you're muted if you're there. I'll move on to Elaine. Are you on the call as well? Can you speak? Having some technical issues. All right, Steve.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Isaacson. I am a rock star and a trusted resource for printing services and promotional products since 1979. I've been hanging out in the village since 1965 when I was 13 years old. I have a passion for the village and for everything associated with it. And that's why I joined the chamber. I also feel that by being an ambassador, I can educate people as to how wonderful our community is and how the chamber can help them. My name is Steve Isaacson, Isaacson Associates. I make first impressions last.
And then Joel and Elaine, are either of you able?
Hi, Maria.
Yes, hi, Elaine. How are you?
Hi.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was on mute accidentally. I'm Elaine Mashi. I am a licensed real estate salesperson with Brown Harris Stevens. I've been an ambassador for a little over a year and a half. I grew up in Greenwich Village and in Soho. I love the city. I come from a family of small business owners, so I really think it's important that we support each other. And that's why I joined the chamber, and I'm proud to be an ambassador. And if you have any questions, I reach out to a lot of you. Feel free to contact me. 917-400-1465.
Thank you. Okay,
Hi,
so
thank you.
we will now, you should get an invite to join one of the breakout rooms. If an ambassador is not in the room, we'll make sure that we'll have somebody lead the conversation. So Kira, if you can pull everybody in the breakout rooms now.